5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bingo. Excuse me. At this point, I'd like to open the hearing of the Carver Conservation Commission for January 17th, 2018. Our first order of business is to have a small discussion regarding a possible activity. Franklin Marsh off of Plymouth Street, expansion of bogs by Gary Weston.
Mr. Chairman, today's the 24th.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And you know what? I got hit bogus.
The agenda.
What's
was-
that?
This meeting is the 24th of January, not the 17th.
It is. Does it say 24th?
No, it says 17.
Oh.
It's from last week, we can't.
Right,
we
okay.
make it.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Gary.
Thank you for having us. Sarah Stearns from Beals & Thomas, PWS, and with me is Gary Weston, owner and operator of Franklin Marsh. Thank you for having us informally tonight. We just wanted to notify the commission of a proposed bog construction project. This is land and agricultural use, so there are bogs already on the site being actively farmed. It's on the Plymouth-Carver town line off of Plymouth Street and Carver Road in Plymouth. So right where all of those things intersect where RASP is. So the bog's right behind RASP and the upland behind there. The idea is that the currently farmed bogs on the Plymouth side of the operation, if all goes according to plan, will be left to revegetate as natural wetland areas. And it's about 6 acres?
7 acres.
7 acres.
7 acres.
Those bogs are currently in the recharge area for the Darby Pond public water supply. So the idea is to take the bogs that are within the Zone 2 and replicate them in an upland area, which is actually on the Carver side of this property. So we just wanted to, again, come before you informally as a notification. The other part of the project, too, is once the project is underway, there's an existing irrigation reservoir that would be squared off as part of the project, just to enhance their water supply. So it's about 7 acres proposed, so it will offset the number of acres on the Plymouth side that would be taken out of production. It's within conformance with the Franklin Marsh Farm Conservation Plan and in line with the agricultural exemptions that are outlined in the Wetlands Protection Act as well as the Carver Wetlands Bylaw. So we just thought it made sense to talk to the board and through Brooke so that if any questions arise with a project like this, you would understand what's going on. You could be able to contact us if there are any questions or concerns. I do have a couple of exhibits just to give you an idea of where we're talking about. If you'd like to see them. And Gary, if you have anything to add, please.
What do you need? A pen?
Is that near the housing project you're putting together up there?
It's not. No, that's off of South Meadow Road.
Okay.
It's kind of on the other side. So here's the Zone 2
Couple more in
line.
here, too.
The Darby Pond well is over here on the Plymouth side. Here's the Plymouth Carver town line. The red is their property line. So these are the bogs that would be taken out of production and left to revegetate. This is the project area where the new bogs and appurtenance would be. They would square off this pond, which is a man-made pond that they had made to supply.
Feeder pond, okay.
Yes, exactly. So that's really it. We just, we just
Now,
thought it might.
that's where it's going. How many of the trees after that are they going to have to take out? I mean, is that the size?
That's the limit of work.
Oh, okay, fine.
So the bogs right now, it's 2 sort of rectangular bogs with canals around them. This would be before the earth removal committee as well. That's our next stop. So they have existing haul roads on the site, taking material out. And
It's upland anyhow, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this bog is about 7 acres, and you're going to replace or replicate a 7-acre rectangular bog, probably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a.
What about that isolated one?
Yep. So
Good.
the other thing I just wanted to point out to the board, so this is the,
Oh, I see.
like this.
Oh, yeah, okay, there you go.
So that's basically the idea.
Okay.
Kind of the more streamlined approach to new bog construction. There is a very small depression in, right where this, kind of right in this area where that canal would end. It's very similar in scope to that area that we walked on Patriot Pines.
The
The
meteor-
questionable one,
The meteor strike?
Yeah, exactly.
the questionable wetland.
Yeah, so, I just wanted to kind of, to point that out as well. Again, we feel like this, because it's a canal system, it would be agricultural.
And you're adding actually
And we're
wetlands.
building
Yeah.
multiple acres
Yeah.
of cranberry bog and letting this 7 acres become naturalized. So I think logically it makes
Right.
perfect sense, but just wanted to kind of like bring everything to the board's.
So we're aware of it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great.
So it will be before the.
Yes, that works.
Soon, hopefully.
Good.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. It's always good. More bugs, we like that.
More taxes.
So if you would like me to kind of type up what we discussed tonight for your file, we can do that?
Yeah,
or-
well, yeah, you could do that. Just so we'll have something in case.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so no further permitting? would be
Do we
necessary.
have, do we have the farm plan? We wouldn't need your whole farm plan, but sometimes you'd just like to get like the, front page of it or something, just so we have something, if someone comes in and says, they're working over at.
I have a farm plan for the property.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
I don't think you
this
need a
project
farm-
Is in it at
Yeah.
this point.
Oh, okay, so okay,
Right.
this needs to
That'd
be
like
added.
a update of the
Oh,
farm
okay.
I
plan.
have a farm plan. If you
Okay.
want, you're more than welcome to it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you like?
Yeah,
Well, once you get it completed.
Yeah.
It's like, get it updated to show the where the new bogs are.
Yeah.
And then we should have a copy.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they'll do it down in Wareham, but it takes,
Ed-
they don't do anything fast.
right. Yeah, it's okay.
It would really just be something for the commission's file, I think,
Yeah.
anyway,
Right,
right? Okay.
right, yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. Okay, good.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm gonna sign that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You signed it?
They're doing it right now.
Okay, thank you.
You should let people know the heat of
I was going to do it about 9 o'clock.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Our next item is for your information, which is a MSMCP meeting Wednesday. What's MSMCP?
That's the, Massachusetts, a municipal agent group, but I think I actually think that got canceled anyway,
Oh, okay.
and it's tomorrow. So, forget that. I think they rescheduled that.
Yeah,
And I
it
don't know
says
if-
January 25th.
Yeah.
But Wednesday.
Yeah, and I think it was in like North
Thursday,
Andover or
January.
someplace.
Okay, so we're going to scratch that.
Pass on that, yep.
Okay. Okay, next items. CR notice regarding cutting of woodlands north of Indian Street and west of Indian Brook, and woodlands south of Lakeview Street and north of Route 58. Are these the Griffiths property?
The Griffiths property, not the ones that they gave us,
No.
but the ones that they are gonna give us eventually. But we just got a notification from them that said they were gonna be, they have a forestry plan, and they're just gonna be thinning out, some of the trees, and, because I think Clark wanted to do it for another year, and then I think those parcels he's gonna also donate to us. So it's just a notification from them saying that they're gonna be,
But when the neighbors are gonna see some cutting, they're gonna wonder what's going on.
they actually got notification, the abutters.
Okay.
They talked to Jill.
Didn't they file an NOI?
Well, it's called a notification,
Yeah,
notice of intent to abutters.
Yeah.
So because they have a forestry plan, it's not a notice of intent,
okay.
it's under the
notified
forestry, yep. And Jill got a
If anybody had an
notification.
objection, it'd be here tonight, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they would know,
Okay.
yeah.
Any objection? There you go.
That was easy.
I just want to make sure the public was.
No, Jill
Next
did
item
get
is
a
a septic
notification.
repair for Fort Doreen Way.
Oh, yes. For septic repairs,
Yes.
you remember, Kevin was gonna come to me, and then, I was gonna go out and look at it, so I have a plan for that. This is septic repair, Doreen Way is off of Crystal Lake Drive.
Yeah.
And
West Street.
it was, you know how tiny, teeny those lots are. So there's a bog behind it. So that was basically, you know, I went out and took a look at it, and it's pretty, you know,
But it's
pretty
a
obvious.
repair, it's repair of an existing
Yeah,
septic
yeah,
system.
septic
Which we-
upgrade,
yeah,
yeah.
we have to accept.
Yeah.
No matter what, yeah.
You just wanted to get that on the record.
Next item is signing the ethics form, which we've already discussed.
Yep.
Item, update on site walk of January 17th. Appeal of the Zero Purchase Street decision on floating solar.
Yeah, that you recall, the DP site visit is going to be rescheduled, postponed, so I haven't heard anything else about it.
Are they gonna cancel it right out over there, or what?
No, Steve Ward asked for an extension, you know, the property owner,
Yeah,
because I think he wanted to get maybe a little more information, or maybe decide what he wants to do, so DP, you know,
it'd been
is
nice to
holding
see
off on
that
it.
there, to see if it worked, you know?
Yeah, because, you know, the DP intervened originally
Right,
on their own accord, but then it got appealed by the neighbors. So the other site visit was going to be based on the neighbors' appeal. And so Steve Ward asked for that to be,
but this
you
is
know,
only supposed to have been a temporary,
it was only supposed to be that pilot
Yeah,
project.
it's right, it's a demonstration project,
Right.
not a full-blown.
right,
No.
so that the,
But we'll see,
I'm-
it still requires approval and
I'm
it still
not talking
requires-
about DEP. I don't see
We're
why
talking-
anybody be upset about something temporary in the water or whatever.
Well, the neighbors appealed it because we issued the negative determination.
Right,
So they appealed that because they have concerns for, I think, we read that letter. It said, there was some, they said environmental concerns. So
Be
DP,
floating out there for maybe 5 months or something, right? All right,
yep,
okay,
so that's kind of on hold.
that's on hold, all right.
Yep.
Okay. So, and that'll be when that gets rescheduled.
Yeah.
It'll be re-announced,
Yeah, I'll let you know.
re-advertised.
Yeah,
Well, the
okay.
intent was to test those
Right,
Yeah.
floating
Right,
yeah,
things through the winter.
right.
So
too late
we're-
now.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Well, and then they were frozen in there for a while, because it's frozen solid. And then remember the gentleman who came in who was doing the installation work, Fred
Yeah,
Harris?
yeah, right.
He actually sent me a text and sent me a picture of the panels. And I couldn't really tell exactly what it was, but anyway, he said, "Oh, I think it's working."
Where?
Well, they're floating. Actually, the ice has melted enough that the panels are floating on their floats. And that was that, but
Where is it working?
Well, he said he had cameras on them, so he can look, you know, and see what's going on with the panels. So he said, it's working. I said, "You're not out there working, are you?" And he said, "No, I'm just looking at the pictures."
the readings,
Oh, they didn't pull them out of they left them there for the winter?
they had to because they were frozen in, Jim.
They had to leave, and
When we were there.
oh, anyway, I don't know.
Anyway,
That was good.
next item,
I like that.
COC
one.
requests.
Okay.
Oh, okay, let's keep going.
DP SE 126-405, 225 Tremont Street, Don McCaig.
That was for a septic repair at
Right.
Cranebrook.
Right.
So I went and looked at it, it was
No
fine.
problem.
And we have something from the engineer saying that it was, completed in accordance with the see. So I'll have you sign that.
And the next item is another COC request for DP SE 126-250,
Yep.
Which
that's
is,
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts on 80 Main Street
Yep.
here.
And the engineer also submitted pictures, and I mean, you've seen Dunkin' Donuts.
Is that the Dunkin'
It's done.
Donuts?
Yep.
The main one right here.
Yep.
Not the south one.
It's
the
the
one.
center carver.
Oh, yeah,
Across
okay.
from the school.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that one, okay.
Yep. So these are, fairly old, and they just never closed the files out, so.
Okay. So, then we have some minutes to read.
Already read them.
I'm gonna have to make this desk smaller. Okay, minutes from December 6th right now. So
Thank you. You're so efficient. I almost think it was going to be like Oh, yes.
That's good, so I can go back and listen to the,
No, I didn't realize that you knew that. I didn't realize that either.
no, I was like, what the hell underway
I
in
know.
that thing, and I was, because normally it's.
So how did you find it?
I just went on top of, no, I went on,
Because I didn't know you
it's
could.
called Cycle 58.
Oh, Area 58.
Yeah, so I just kind of Googled it,
Yep.
and I found it, I was like, thank God.
Yeah, because Peg said that. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. I think we had to do that one time because a lawyer, somebody requested, the minutes of the meeting because for his client or something. And it took like forever to do. But I guess they put them right online. Huh. So we had to send for it. Okay, he actually wanted it, the physical
Oh, on this.
tape. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, once I said it, I was like, oh, yeah, but it was a lot of questions.
It was.
If they,
And they wanted,
pop up above
wanted
the ice,
people,
the
like,
answer was yes, but if they got frozen in,
wanted
then
them
they
to know
don't.
that they had asked good questions. And like, they just didn't say, oh, okay.
Right, and he said,
You know,
yes, they
The minutes of the approval.
He says it did.
Tomorrow, I'll take
No,
off.
that they couldn't move, they couldn't take them out of the water because they were
Then
frozen.
they post them on the website, so it's still
Right.
not available.
I know.
You know what I mean?
right.
But they could watch the video, it is available.
Yeah.
I'll
I
make
had-
a motion that we approve the minutes of December 6th as written.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of December 6th, 2017 as written. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Pass unanimously. Okay. Back to. Okay. So. Now we have new hearings scheduled. What? Okay, 199 C Pleasant Street.
That's a typo. It should be Plymouth Street. Sorry, she was supposed to change that. It's Plymouth Street.
Okay.
I changed it on the other one. Thank you, Brendan.
Is that the one that we just actually heard the presentation for? Was that by Mr.
No.
Weston? Oh, no, this is,
No.
okay, here.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you have to read the thing?
Yeah. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 7:15 p.m. on Wednesday, December 20th, 2017, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the request for determination of applicability filed by William Woodside to determine A, whether the area depicted on the reference plans and/or maps is an area subject to the jurisdiction of Wetlands Protection Act, whether the proposed work is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act, and whether the area and/or work depicted on reference plans is subject to the jurisdiction of any municipal wetlands ordinance or bylaw of the town of Carver. The project is located at 199C Pleasant Street, Carver, Mass, map 18, parcel 2-4R. All interested parties are invited to attend. Copies of all plans and filings, pertinent documents are available at the Conservation Commission office. Okay, so, and you are,
My name is Brendan Mullaney from Bracken Engineering.
okay?
I'm here tonight on behalf of the applicant, William Woodside. This is a project as stated at 199C Plymouth Street. So for reference, this is the parcel. It's just south of Route 44, west of 58, and east of the Carver-Middleborough town line. There is an active cranberry bog just to the east of the parcel. And so we surveyed in the field and by instrument survey picked up the edge of the cranberry bog. So this is up in the rear of the parcel where the actual project is proposed. On this plan here, the red is the limit of the bog. The green is the 100-foot buffer zone. So the extent of our work within the buffer zone is actually just the installation of a water line within an existing gravel driveway. So the work within jurisdiction would basically be to dig the trench, install the line in that portion of it, and reinstall the gravel driveway. The remainder of the work is outside of the 100-foot buffer zone, and we have our erosion control barrier outside of the 100-foot buffer zone as well, just on the landward side of that. So the extent of the work is just this small blue line in this area, and the rest of the work is within upland area in the rear of the parcel.
Remember we looked at that?
Yep.
Yep,
Yes, yeah.
yep. So it's really only a small portion of the project.
And he might actually drill a well, so this would all be,
Yeah, that can go inside the 100-foot, the well,
Yeah,
out to, and actually, it can even go within, we have a 65-foot no-touch zone in Carver also.
Yes.
But the well can be placed within that if necessary.
this is actually
Is
the
he
the spot that they're looking for a potential well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. so no
If he
problem.
doesn't hook up to
It's
town
way up in
water.
the dry area, huh?
Yeah,
All right.
in the rear of the property, so.
I remember looking at that a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
yep. Okay, you good?
So that's basically the extent. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
And he's putting erosion controls all the way down?
Yes, the erosion
whole
control
extent of the
line
project, yeah.
is the line with the X's on it,
Yeah.
and that's going to extend up to here and all the way down to the road, basically. Yep.
And he hadn't started work yet?
No.
Okay, because I know when I talked to Zach, he didn't know if maybe he was going to want to start before, but, okay.
No, I think the weather held them up a
Yeah.
bit, and now, so.
Do you have any questions on that, anybody?
No, I don't.
I don't.
That
yeah.
is- it's
Okay,
fine.
I go to approve, I make a motion to approve 199C Pleasant
We need
Street.
to- I think we need to close the hearing first.
Oh, we didn't
Yeah,
close it?
all right, no.
And we're issuing a negative determination.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll make a motion that we close the hearing on 199C Pleasant Street.
And a second on that, please?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to close the hearing at 199C Pleasant Street.
Plymouth Street, sorry. Oops.
Plymouth,
I
yes.
know there's a typo.
Jeez, these notes are going to need to be amended. Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing is closed.
And now you're issuing a negative determination.
So we need to move to,
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion for negative determination of applicability on 199C Pleasant Street.
Plymouth Street.
Plymouth Street, what did I say? I'm sorry, Plymouth Street.
I'll
Is there a
second
Pleasant
that.
Street in Carver?
Doing
yes, there is.
Oh, there is, okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. So it's been moved and seconded to adopt a, what is it, negative
Negative determination.
determination for the numbering value? -2?
Yeah.
-2 determination regarding the project at 199C Plymouth Street.
Just to make a note on the correction,
Yes.
is that it did read Pleasant Street, and we
Yes.
corrected that
Yeah.
on paper here
Yeah.
to Plymouth Street.
So it's Plymouth Street, it's
Okay.
not Pleasant, even though it says
So,
it.
all those in favor of the vote on the hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Again, that's passed unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I might just put a condition on when he puts up his erosion controls, have him notify me.
Reading it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Brendan.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next item is 60 South Meadow Road.
We have to wait.
Okay, yeah, all right. 7:30.
Oh, darn.
We're moving right along. I'll tell you, now that Peg's not doing just con stuff, things like that, like slip by.
That's fine.
No, you know the reason it was advertised December 20th is because they filed. And that was the only thing that was on for a meeting, so I said, you mind if we continue? Then it could continue, and then it could continue again. So that was really the date that was originally, scheduled for. Hello. Good, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Two cards and then someone tries.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So this is for the school.
I was there the other day. He's out running all day. He's exhausted.
These are the plans. I don't know if they'll have a board and everything. You probably don't need to read all these.
He was out of ball. The ice cream office.
Yeah.
Soaking wet. 200 miles an hour.
I could probably start reading this notice at this point. Maybe one more minute. Yeah. Wait a minute.
So every 3 years you gotta.
Oh, Lord.
I don't see anybody.
It's a nice library over there.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the director does a messenger.
Oh,
She's
oh, what's her
really
name? She comes.
Carol Julius.
Oh, yeah, she comes to the department head meetings. Yeah.
I just got asked to be on the building committee for the council on aging.
Oh, she does that
She
too.
does it too. And, 'cause she's a good thing.
Hey, Lena?
Then I found out they wanted to leave and stuff.
At this point, notice is hereby given in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act, Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, January 24th, 2018, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the notice of intent for the Town of Carver School Department for the proposed renovation of the middle school athletic complex. Proposed work includes the renovation of the existing natural grass playing field into a multi-purpose playing surface, expansion of the existing 6-lane asphalt track to an 8-lane resilient track surface, construction of a support building with restrooms, and a new asphalt path providing access from the complex parking lot to the building, track field, bleachers, and press box. The project is also subject to stormwater regulations and a full stormwater report with operation and maintenance plan has been submitted as part of the NOI filing. The proposed activities are within 65 and 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands and will require variance under the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw for work within the 65-foot buffer. The project is located at 60 South Meadow Road, Carver, map 105, lot 2. All interested parties invited to attend. Copies of all plans, filings, and pertinent documents are available at the Conservation Commission office. And you folks are?
Jonathan Charwick from Activitas, the project manager.
I'm Meg Bazinski with Activitas. I'm the principal civil engineer.
Great, thank you very much. First, I'll start, give a run through of the existing conditions and the proposed project, and then I'll turn it over to Megan to talk about the stormwater management and some of the detailed engineering. So it's the track and field facility at the Mill High School site. The existing parking lot between the school and this location, and then we have the existing track and field facility. The bordering vegetated wetlands are just south of the existing track along the vegetated edge, and there's also a vegetated swale over here that's also been flagged for wetlands. So due to that, we have our 65-foot local buffer in this general location, and then the 100-foot buffer shown on the plan as well. So as part of the project, it's a full renovation. The existing natural grass field will be converted to synthetic turf. So for the project, erosion controls will be set up prior to any mobilization. Then the demolition will start. The track will be pulverized and reused underneath the new pavement for base material. And then the entire profile of the natural grass field will be stripped, stockpiled, and screened for reuse on site somewhere. And then some of the adjacent areas of landscape that need to be stripped in order to build a new facility will also be stockpiled, screened, and then placed on site. So we turn over a little explanation of the proposed project. What we're doing is proposing a 6-lane oval with an 8-lane straightaway. So the expansion of the track itself, the existing edge will remain the same, but this becomes an 8-lane straightaway and a little bit being 6 lanes now. In order to give a little more playability inside the field, because right now it's a thin field, so really football and field hockey use the field. Soccer wants a wider field. So we're expanding toward the west of the facility, toward the softball fields, generally where the existing away side bleachers are. So by expanding the field in that location, we're looking to propose all the bleachers on the baseball field side of the facility. So home and away, everyone will sit over there. By expanding that, we are cutting into the slope slightly, but there'll be a 3-to-1 slope that takes you from the track facility up to the softball field. It's only about 3 feet of grade change between the two facilities in doing that. As part of the project, there will also be the addition of a bus loop adjacent to the existing parking. 24-foot wide access aisle that can roughly fit about 3 buses. It'll also be a good place for parent pickup and drop off for the athletic events. We've improved some of the circulation in and out of the facility. One of the concerns was during game day, everyone's coming in through the same gate. So what we've done is we separated the entrances. So up here where the number 2 is, this is where your emergency access and your player access will be to the facility. And then all spectators will enter generally where they enter right now. As I noted, a new press box and bleacher will be located on the baseball field side of the facility in line with the center of the field. And there's a small concessions support building with 3 male and 3 female restrooms planned for the facility to support the bleachers and all the spectators on site. As it relates to the layout, in order to expand the field and give a little bit of buffer between the facility and the softball field, we have shifted the layout of the track a little bit closer to the bordering vegetated wetland. However, we're not disturbing anything more that's not disturbed right now. Everything along this edge is already maintained. The closest edge that we're going toward the wetland is currently the fence line. We're not disturbing anything outside the fence. And as I know, it's already maintained one area. At this point, I'll turn over to Megan to talk a little bit about the engineering. One thing to note, Fuss & O'Neill has done a peer review and generally are good with all the comments that they had for us. We were able to respond back to them and work in good shape with them. And we were in front of the planning board last night, and the site plan approval has been approved.
Oh, good. Yep.
So I will quickly just run through basic stormwater and then really turn it over to you folks for any questions that you may have about the project. So as John mentioned, we do have the bordering vegetated wetlands in this location and that vegetated swale that comes up. In terms of drainage, the majority of the site, these EX5, 6, 4, and 2 all drain towards the wetland area. These areas up here, this EX1 drains towards these existing natural grass fields, and this EX7 drains towards this parking lot. So there's kind of 3 discharge points on site. Within the field area, the existing topsoil is very compact. Water mostly runs off. We don't get a lot of vertical drainage through that field because of that compaction. And the runoff is collected in some existing drain lines and catch basins. There's 4 spots where there are head walls against the wetlands. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. This 4th one is actually collecting from this manhole up here, which is collecting a larger system. And I'll show you in a second. We're proposing to reuse all 4 head walls so we can mimic those existing conditions. So in the proposed conditions, with the synthetic turf field, we're able to actually drain vertically as opposed to running off laterally to those catch basins. So the field is designed to actually act as a detention basin. We are increasing impervious on site between just the kind of expanded track area and some of the walkways and circulation. So we are including recharge and all those kinds of things underneath the field to meet the stormwater regulations, both the state and the local stormwater regulations. Water collected from the drop-off area will be collected and then treated through a storm scepter. And then this line that comes down, it's running under the field, it's not part of the field system. It's going to run down and it's going to connect into that existing head wall that's located in this area. The field system, right here, as I mentioned, access to tainage, the track all drains towards the field and is collected in that system. And then we have an outlet control system down here that's going to control that flow just through the use of orifices and where we're allowed to outlet. And will tie into both the head wall in this location and then in this location. And those two head walls are really between that and then groundwater elevation is what's kind of dictating our system and regulating it. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to put in a new pipe that starts at this drain manhole and is collecting that larger area. And we're just going to bring that kind of in and then hit that head wall again. Just because the existing line is going under our new bleachers and the proposed buildings, we wanted to make sure that was out of the way, not going through foundations and things like that. As John mentioned, we are working within the 65-foot. We've requested a waiver for that, but we're staying outside of the wood areas. The one other request we had in there as part of that 65-foot waiver is we'd like to access these head walls and flush those backwards in order to clean up the system. We don't want to flush from up into the wetlands. We want to flush backwards. Do you have a question?
I'm going to wait till you're done.
Okay. So as we said, Fuss and O'Neill has reviewed the stormwater report or notice of intent on all those items. And we've gone back and forth. We made a few adjustments, but everything seems to be working out very well. So with that, I'll turn over questions.
Good.
Thank you. With reference to your stormwater, am I understanding this, that all that stormwater on that site goes all into the wetlands?
Not all of it. So PR1 right here is going to continue to go towards.
Yeah, I understand that, but everything down by the parking lot and everything down to the bottom right there, all shoots across and goes into the wetlands.
It doesn't sheet across, it's collected in a system, but it will outlet.
Yeah, outlets over there.
But doesn't it already go there?
And that's
It already
what the
does.
existing
Yeah.
conditions.
That's
So
right.
we've done the-
Is that existing and new? 'Cause you said you put a new pipe in, right?
So this pipe is
Carry
being
it better.
maintained.
Right.
And we didn't do calculations up above, we just replaced that.
So it's everything that comes off the parking lot goes there too? And all of that goes into wetlands?
In the existing and proposed.
I don't know. You're not putting it through a filter or anything, you're just dumping it?
We're not doing, well, the
I'm
new
asking.
areas, we
Huh?
are filtering. The new areas, we are filtering. We have a storm scepter on that. Where we haven't touched this parking lot up here, we weren't proposing any other treatment.
So
because we're
all
just
that water's
replacing
still untreated going into the wetlands?
it. Unless there's treatment up above. We haven't analyzed above that site because it's out of our limit of work.
Which it's doing now. It's untreated now.
Yes.
Right.
It might be a good idea to put a storm scepter in, though.
I think it should be treated. I think
Yes,
we should
where
have a treating dump.
especially where
You
the
gotta put something in there, you can't just dump it all.
drainage from the
Too
parking
much
lot.
oil and everything else going into the wetlands.
Possibly, yes.
Sure, it was outside this, so we didn't address it, but I can
Yes.
I
appreciate
want to
that.
address, if you're gonna renovate it, you have to address it.
Right. By making it a more effective delivery of that water into the wetland, you're
want
kind
it
of taking more of a chance of damaging it.
I wouldn't say we're changing how I mean, we're not doing anything.
I understand what you're
we
saying.
absolutely
Going through a
are.
bigger pipe, though, and so
We're
on.
changing pipes and everything else, and you're talking about the head wall over on the left over there where the wetlands are. All of that's all new.
Nope, the head walls are the.
I understand the head walls are, but the piping's different. Okay, I think there's too much oil and everything else going into the wetlands at this point. I want to see a cleaning pit.
Yes, especially,
It's an opportunity to do it.
It's an
Yeah,
opportunity
right
to
now.
do, and I think it should be done.
I agree.
As long as we're spending money on a,
right, if you're having that,
Feel like that. Oof.
that bus parking lane and so on, and the pickup and drop-off points, that there will be a lot more vehicle activity along that edge.
Yeah.
So that will create a lot more possible pollution. And
We can add that in, I don't think that's a problem. And we can
Now,
work with
I have a
Meadow and
question.
Riverside.
Can you use, as long as you were talking about using the field as a drain, the field itself as a draining area,
Mhm.
can't you drain that right in, put all that drainage underneath the field?
In terms of what? So we're inhibited by a few things. We have groundwater,
Yeah.
so we're just around 2 feet of separation.
Oh, is that all you have there?
We did our test pits, so we have.
Never mind then, never mind. Never mind then. I get
So
it,
much for that idea.
I get it. But I would like to see the water treated before it goes into the wetlands,
What is the,
that area. I'm sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
Tim. What is the material between the end zones and the track?
This is track surfacing as well.
Okay.
Now, the field is gonna be,
Let me put this up just 'cause.
the field's gonna be pulverized, right, where the track is? And then, what are you putting on top of that?
So what we're looking to do, we're going to pulverize the existing asphalt.
Yeah.
Blend it in probably with a 12-inch mix
Yeah, I
of
get
blended
that
material.
part.
Once, we'll probably strip that, stockpile that, get the site to subgrade, and then we'll take that material, that'll be the first lift of crushed stone dense grade that goes underneath the asphalt for the track and for the D areas. So the D areas are what are located between the end lines of the field and the oval.
So it's gonna be an asphalt track?
It is, yep.
Asphalt with track surfacing on top, so
Yeah.
that rubber surface.
How thick is the asphalt, 3-inch?
3 inch over about 12 inches of
Okay.
base
Right.
material. So we have so much base material on site to reuse in one lift. We'll supplement it with some additional dense grade that we'll import, and then we'll pave the 3-inch. It's a 2-inch with the 1 inch of top course
Compacted
asphalt.
95% on it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
The field surface itself, this is going to be a synthetic grass?
Synthetic turf, yep.
Okay, and how will that be maintained?
So typically if you want, we can get into the turf system itself. So, do you want to talk about the drainage a little bit?
Sure, so the way the field is built is, as John mentioned, they're gonna strip out the old topsoil, they're gonna subgrade, all right? They're gonna make sure it's not too compact so that water still will be able to go down. And then there's gonna be 2 layers of, they're gonna put a geotextile fabric down that still allows water to go through. And then we have a crushed stone layer, so we're gonna have about an 8-inch layer of crushed stone, like a 3/8 to 3/4 inch stone, so something that has that 30% void, that's what we accounted for in our storage. And then on top of that, you have more of a, not quite a stone dust because it does drain very well and very quickly.
Pea stone?
But, yeah, just something to get on there so you can get a really nice tabletop finish before you put the turf system on it. So you have all that drainage going down. And then what we're proposing is a resilient underlayment that would go right on top of the stone, no geotextile or anything in between. And this drains completely vertically as well. So you have your resilient underlayment, and then you have your turf system on top. This is the carpet unfilled, okay? And then you have your sand and rubber infill that gets filled into the fibers, basically. So this is about a 2-inch grass, call it. But then when it gets filled in, it feels more of like a half-inch grass, you know, so you're not digging in. But this is an example, what do you want to say, this is all rubber in here. If you want to just see kind of what it looks like.
Oh, yeah,
So you
okay.
can see how it gets filled in the middle
Yeah.
and the grass drains, you know, sticking out.
It's the same thing they have at Gillette.
Yes, exactly.
So what is the purpose of this, basically, to save on maintenance?
Not necessarily. So really it's the usability of the synthetic turf over natural grass. As part of this project, the first few months, that was one of our biggest studies, is figuring out what the surface should be, the pros and cons, obviously the use that we can get on the synthetic turf field versus the natural grass. It much exceeds the natural grass. And really we looked at what the uses are for the field for both the high school, middle school athletics, club sports in town, and then just typical use by the rest of the residents. And really, the number of uses required, actual uses, really spoke to a synthetic turf field because the natural grass field really couldn't handle the use in town. And then therefore, you know, the overall maintenance over a 10-year period, the natural grass field ends up becoming a more expensive effort that gets to be used less. So that was where the decision process was to go with the synthetic turf. There is still maintenance required. As part of the project, there's a piece of equipment, groomers and sweepers that are used on the hitch of a small utility vehicle that you usually use every month or so. Really, it's to loosen the infill, decompact it a little
They
bit.
gotta relocate the piece too, right? They kind of move around a lot. the particles on top tend to shift all over the place.
They do, especially over the first year or so when it's starting to settle in. You know, the biggest thing is when you install the fields, you want rain and you want use, so that the infill really starts to lock up a little bit, really, you know, because when you first start using it, it's very soft, and though you think soft is safe, you actually want it a little firmer than soft and light, which could cause injuries as well. But usually, you know, monthly, depending on the turf vendor, they have their own maintenance program, monthly or every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the use, to get out there and do a little bit of maintenance, again, to make sure that the playing area is safe.
Wow.
Interesting.
This involves the school being in a long-term maintenance contract with the installer.
It depends. So part of the program is to give maintenance training to the local staff. So as part of the bid specs, we would probably purchase some of that maintenance equipment, as long as either DPW or the school staff, depending on who maintains it, is trained appropriately, they can take care of it. It's usually 4 to 8 hours, give or take the size of the field. So if they can fit that into their scheduling for other maintenance, you know, once every 4 or 5 weeks is much better than mowing the grass every, 2-3 times a week, depending on what that maintenance is. So certain, maintenance is required,
And the
but it's a lot
sprinklers,
less.
you don't have to sprinkler everything.
Right.
No fertilizers.
Yeah.
Sprinkler.
No need to what, yeah? So neat.
And again, on top of this, this field being synthetic turf can be played on all the time virtually. So it'll give an opportunity for the town to take some of the other fields and hopefully improve some of their maintenance, get some rest on some of the other fields, because we can use this field a little more. So it's kind of a contributing factor. This becomes kind of the workhorse for the town, while the other natural grass fields can hopefully be in a little better performance.
Okay.
So if it's pouring, you don't have all the mud and all the stuff you would have, yeah.
And that was part of the site, after a rain event, or maybe during a soft rain event, you can use this field. The natural grass fields, you're waiting maybe a
Right.
day, 2 days to let them dry out, so, which, depending on what type of spring we have, really affects the school program. And again, we want to have the kids use the fields shortly after school, rather than being out all night waiting for the weather to dry everything up.
Alright.
Yes,
The only-
okay.
Only issue I would have is make sure we have that drainage system.
Is that easy enough to do, to put another in?
DPW is okay with using storm scepters, so we'll just make sure we size it appropriately. We'll work with them to figure out.
Oh.
I don't have a problem as long as we say it in the NOI, and that's good.
I have two questions. On the south end of the track straightaway, I see a little square. What is that?
Future storage building. So I think what we're looking at doing is, it's just about a 20 by 20 concrete pad. It'd probably be not sure what the building is right now. It's really kind of a placeholder, really for the athletic equipment, the padding, hurdles, things like that. So there's close proximity to put those into a sheltered area. Right now, I think the pad is in the project. We don't have a building set over there. It may be just an off-the-shelf, nicer type trailer, or some type of storage structure. But as of right now, put the concrete pad in, and then it'll be much easier to put something in the future.
All right, and it looks like right there now is the shot put.
It is, yep. So I think what we're looking at doing is, I have a little larger aerial map. The exact location hasn't been determined, but right now on the practice field, that's just west of
Yep.
where the basketball court, they throw javelin and discus over here now, so I think we're going to put the shot put over there in that general location, so that all the throwing events are together.
Okay. So you think that the pad will be 20 by 20 and 400 square feet?
Yeah.
Because that's right next to the wetlands.
Wetlands, yeah, that's
Right there. Have you looked at a possible different location for that building, or?
Not necessarily, because it's been kind of that's going to be a future location, and just putting the concrete pad in now. I think we're pitching the concrete toward the track, so no runoff that would hit it would go toward the wetlands. Again, it's a location just adjacent to the track, so that's easy access for, again, it's padding, hurdles. I don't think it would be any mowing equipment or anything with any oils or any reason for a grease trap or anything like that. It's really just...
Well, we don't think, you don't think, but you don't know either.
Correct.
All right. And my second question is, you had spoken about access to the head walls, so you could flush them in reverse.
Yes.
What kind of access are you talking about?
Someone to be able to come in with a heavy hose, no one going in and cutting
Okay.
anything down, just, people walking out there, they might be standing in the wetland temporarily just to kind of flush it out,
Okay,
but,
fine.
you know,
That answers the question.
nothing
Yeah.
major, yeah.
Okay.
Big machines or anything?
Yeah, well, yeah.
And the scrubbers that you're gonna put in for for cleaning the water, they'll have to come up with a maintenance
Yes.
schedule for that as well.
Yes, and we have that as part of the
It's
draft.
usually about every
operations.
6 months for those things. Okay,
Yeah, it's part of your stormwater
It is, yes.
plan, yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm good.
No questions on my part? No further? So shall we close the hearing?
Yeah, sure.
I'll make a motion that we close the hearing on 60 South Meadow Road.
I'll second the motion.
Been moved and seconded to close the hearing on 60 South Meadow Road. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Pass unanimously. And now, Brooke, you're,
The order of conditions?
yep.
So I'll add that condition for
Yeah,
the storm scepter.
and then also put
see.
in, make sure they have a maintenance section in there too.
Yeah, there's the operation, your stormwater plan includes an operation and maintenance
It does,
plan, which
yes.
includes cleaning of like, which actually I referred to in
Right,
here.
right.
The cleaning and maintenance of
Right.
all the drainage swales, the catch basins.
Yep.
Yep, so I wrote that right in here specifically. Yep.
That works.
All right.
All right, so I move that we grant the variance for
Oh, yes.
60,
Variance first.
yeah, we should probably vote on it
We should,
before we
that's
sign
right,
it.
we should issue a variance.
So I move that we issue the variance for 60 South Meadow Road for the project as described with the order of conditions as set forth by the agent.
I'll second that one.
It's been moved and seconded to issue a variance for the 60 South Meadow Road DEP SE 126-557 project. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Pass unanimously. Okay.
Yeah, we
Now,
need to-
as far as the project itself.
So then you just issue the order,
Yeah. Yes.
which is pretty much you did, right?
Well, we did the variance, so now we have to issue the order of conditions. So,
I think we have to approve the NOI now as well.
yes, that's right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So,
Right.
so what do you guys want to move it?
Put before the committee that we approve the notice of intent for 60 South Meadow Road, Carver, DEP number SE 126-557, with the assumption that the agent will will take care of the issues that we spoke about with reference to the watershed. All those in favor?
I'll second
I
that.
need a second, I'm sorry. I need a second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to issue a order of conditions for the 60 South Meadow Road DEP SE 126-557 project. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Pass unanimous.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And you're all set with planning, right? Do you have to go back to them for anything?
We're all set.
Good.
Okay,
It's a good week.
Yeah.
that'll be done in a couple of months, right?
Exactly.
They'll be playing in there in the spring.
Added a couple bucks, that's the deal.
All right, so,
That,
next known as 14 Andrews Point in another
that turf
4
is neat.
minutes.
Isn't that the way they make it? I know. God, it's very complicated. I thought it was like a miniature golf thing, you throw it down.
Can't read the clock either, so, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. At this point, we will take up the DEP SE 126-554, 14 Andrews Point Road project. Notice hereby given in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act, Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public meeting will be held at 7:45 p.m. on Wednesday, January 24th, 2018, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall, to hear the notice of intent for Jeffrey Merritt and Joseph Bazzanati to elevate the existing single-family dwelling, install a new foundation under the dwelling, and upgrade the existing septic system. Proposed work will be
Thank you.
conducted within the 100-foot and 65-foot buffer zone to Sampson's Pond. Variance is requested to allow the work within the 65-foot buffer protected under the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Project is located at 14 Andrews Point Road, Carver, Mass., map 1, lot 8. All interested parties are invited to attend. Copies of all plans, filings, and pertinent documents are available at the Conservation Commission office. And you are,
I'm Jeff Merritt, owner of 14 Andrews Point Road with Joseph Bazzanati.
okay?
All right, and I can give you these. You want this?
Yes, please.
Even we didn't go out there, but
Yeah, okay. So we did take a look at it, and I understand there's some questions as to
You've got to turn it on, pretty sure.
how it's going to be raised up and what the deck,
Yeah, I think we had some questions when we went out there.
yeah.
But you want to do, we'll let Joe go and then.
Okay, let him
Okay.
make your presentation, then we'll figure out what we.
Hey, Joe.
Joe Webby Engineering. This is obviously Jeff and
This is a, turn it so I can see, or the audience.
Oh, okay, you don't a butter?
Why don't you stick it,
Maybe
we have ours.
way
Why don't
out?
you- Yeah, you can angle it more toward the audience, we're good with that.
Okay, thanks.
This is a existing dwelling, 14 Angels Point Road. We have a definite definitive map on Sanford Pond, and then we have your, on the color green is the 65 foot, and then the color yellow is the 100 foot setbacks. What the Merritts would like to do is they would like to elevate the existing dwelling and install a new foundation underneath it, and then obviously put it back down. We are also proposing to install a septic tank that will be beyond the 65 and the leaching field which will be beyond the 100 foot. And, if you have any questions on the structural part of the, that's for Jeff.
I do. What's the reason for replacing the foundation?
So we had the original septic layout in 2010, and that required a pump chamber, septic tank, 1,500 gallon septic tank. And so they're gonna take all the sewage from the house, pump it up to outside that 100 foot buffer.
Mm-hmm.
When we started doing the work around the area, we recognized that there was an issue with the foundation digging that close to it. And because it's an older foundation, older home, built in the early 60s, and decided that if we could lift the house up, put a regular, real foundation under it, keeping the existing footprint, lift it up and go to a gravity-fed septic, get the old cesspools. There are 2 cesspools on the property now. Take those out. I think they're within maybe 20 feet of the water's edge. Get those out and put a leach field up outside that 100-foot buffer zone. So put a full foundation under the house and put a regular gravity-feed septic system in. That's what we're trying to do.
So you're gonna have a walkout downstairs, though?
Once the house gets lifted up,
You
yes,
have a
there'll be a full
walkout, right?
foundation under it. Correct. Correct.
Now, once that's up, now, I looked at the existing foundation when I was there. I'm a contractor.
Okay.
That foundation's, although it is cinder block, it's well struck, and I didn't see one crack to start with. Now, when you raise that foundation up 8 feet, that's what you're gonna be shooting for, which is basically the elevation of the garage. What do you do with that void between the garage and the house that drops down like 8 feet down in there? What do you fill that into?
So that'll be filled, correct. So the actual,
So that's within 65 feet, and you want to fill it in. What about the deck? What are you going to do with the deck?
the deck will lift up with the home. And so the house itself, with the foundation plans that we have, will actually lift 6 feet from where the bottom.
Where the sill is.
Sill
Yeah.
of the house is out about 6 feet.
Yeah, so you're going basically 8 feet up from there.
The new foundation will be what, poured concrete?
Correct.
Yeah, but the thing is, when they do that, when they have that walkout foundation, in order to do that, they're gonna have to go 5 feet down from that point to put a frost wall in so they can have a walkout.
Yeah.
So where that foundation is now, they gotta dig that out and go down 5 feet to put a frost wall in. Okay, so there's that too.
Are these in the plans? This,
Yeah, well, they're not on here, but that's what
I
you
know,
gotta
but
do.
Those would be probably for the building commissioner probably has well, he has all the structural stuff, right? Yeah, because we usually don't get those
That's
details.
what you also have to do. There's a lot of structural work.
Yeah.
that has to be done.
Yeah.
That's you might as well, take the house, move it somewhere, and, I mean, just lifting it. There's a ton of work there. Not only that, it's gonna be right on the water.
we're not here to tell them what to do with this property. We're just here to make sure that it fits in with the regulations.
It doesn't. That's a lot of work.
It does fit in, though.
How do you plan on lifting the house?
Yeah.
A little jacket with a house.
Kevin St. George is the builder
Yeah.
that we're going to use. Kevin, you want to comment on that?
We're going to put steel beams underneath the house We were installing new beams structurally in the house to begin with, so we'll end up putting 2 extra beams in to actually jack the house up with it.
What are you gonna jack up the beams? What do you use to, you just can't push the beams up. What are you gonna use to get the beams up?
Hydraulic jacks.
Okay? Hydraulic jacks.
Electric
And
hydraulic.
1-foot lifts?
Huh?
And 1-foot lifts?
14-inch lifts, yes.
Yeah. I don't know. They're gonna fill all this in. See, this is what they're gonna raise that.
But it's gonna be on the existing foundation.
Yeah.
It's not going any closer, right,
Well, I know,
It'll
no,
just
I
go
know.
straight up,
right. It's not going out towards the water
Then they're
closer.
gonna move this up.
hopefully.
Oh, we're going to tip over.
I'd like to see what the abutters have to say and everybody else.
We will.
Okay.
Determination on what.
Yeah. Well, our plan of record's going to have the color coding on the 100-foot and 65-foot
Okay,
lines.
yeah.
So that's something that got overlooked, I guess.
I'd like to see proposed elevations of what the fill's going to be like.
It's gonna be crazy. I mean,
Right, in between the house and the...
Because it's going
there's a 6-foot
it's going to have to
fill.
go down on either side with the neighbors.
And that box is gonna have to,
Actually, you probably want a lot more detail than the...
Yeah.
yeah, because they're showing a proposed 1,500 gallon tank.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure, doesn't the town require 2,000 gallons on a holding tank?
That I don't know, that's...
You got your board,
Approval now.
you got your board of health approval, yeah.
Okay.
So does the building department, do they have another set of plans, like with all
We
the...
have a set of foundation plans that were drawn up that show some of the elevations.
Oh, because we typically don't get those, but I mean, if the building, commissioner approves them, I mean,
They're just, it's only 53 feet.
In this setting with the location and the...
I think he has plans with
Yeah,
elevations.
Right. Well, we
Could
probably
you-
should have a copy of that to look at.
We'll take it. Tim, he has plans with the elevations on them.
I beg your pardon?
He does have plans that went to the building department. He has I think those have the elevations on them.
I'd like to take a peek at that.
I think that's what you wanted, right?
Make sure I have the right ones there.
Well, I got a pretty good idea of what it's gonna be. I think it's,
So these are the,
this is just a foundation.
right, so this shows the existing elevation. Here, I'm looking at it upside down, but this is the front wall
Yeah.
that you're referencing. And this is the point that we're talking about, is lifting up 6
Yep.
feet. So that's where the existing sill is on the
Yeah.
house,
And this is where
6 feet.
adding in here.
Yeah, so this is existing foundation here.
Mhm. I
And
know.
to your
That's the
point,
part that's showing the lake, right over there.
so this would be the lakefront here.
Well, that goes over to
So
here.
so this is by the garage,
Right.
lake side. So
And you want to see what the fill would look like in between the...
Yeah, I'd like to see what the fill would be,
Yeah.
look like between the barn and the...
Between the barn and the house.
house.
That's the area that concerns me.
Yeah, I
Do you have any charts that would show that?
the only thing I have is this plan here for the foundation and structurals, the grading here, and then the print that you folks have to show that grading.
I'm gonna do more on that. We need this graded out. I'd like to see the grade lines here, which Mr. Webby can supply, and the finished grade lines after.
Yeah.
I think we were gonna propose a retaining wall.
But there's nothing here.
No, I
Yeah,
understand.
so you're gonna have to, you gotta give us some work here. We need to know, I wanna know top of elevation here, okay? And then I wanna know the elevations in between, existing, and then what the finish is gonna be. That'll determine what we're gonna do
Existing are
here.
here. Here's the
Yeah,
106
we
one
have-
Well,
away.
kind of, but it's
Yeah.
like they're.
We have top
We-
of foundations, 111,
And
and this
I
right
was-
here is
I wanna know what this is.
the septic system.
This is what I
You got the
wanna know
septic
right
system?
here.
That's the, yeah, that's the.
That's the garage, right
That's the
there.
septic
That's the
system
garage,
plan.
is that?
That's the garage right there.
So the house might be higher than the garage.
It'll be about the same on the elevation.
Mm-hmm.
See, I wanna
Oh,
know
right
what, what's going on here. This all has to be filled in.
Because this won't change.
110.
Right here won't change.
But
So we're
if you-
gonna be 1
This
foot,
is 104, and
From here to
top
here.
of slab is 111.
that's top of foundation.
Foundation, top of
slab.
foundation 111. This is 104.
And
This thing,
This is 110 right here.
yeah, right, that's what
Top
I'm
of
saying.
foundation. So it's gonna be 1 foot higher.
It's gonna be 1 foot higher. So that's a lot to fill in right there.
It's an awful lot.
That's an awful
Between the
lot to
two.
fill. Yeah, it's a ton.
Right.
And it goes all the way around. I wanna know where they're gonna stop it. And how
Well,
they're gonna stop it.
yeah, you
I gotta
said you
know
were
where they're
talking
gonna
about a
stop
retaining
this.
wall, so
Yeah.
that's not, you wouldn't have to fill quite as much if you put.
Well,
Right, so it won't fill all the way down, obviously, to the
yeah,
lake.
but what about over here?
It'll
See,
be
I wanna see
65.
what's gonna
Yeah,
happen
but
here.
really, we have to see
Behind
plans
the
that
deck.
show this, so what
It's-
you're intending
So
to do
you-
better.
So let me ask the question. So if we were to put that on this plan to show where the retaining wall would go and then how those grades would sit, I'll say on the garage side of the retaining wall, that's really what you need to see.
Well, I wanna know what this is here. See, this is you're putting
That's
your,
the deck.
you're putting your deck here. Well,
That grade's not gonna change.
the deck elevation's gonna change.
No, no,
That's
the
what he
ground,
said.
the ground, the
Well,
deck
that's-
is gonna come up higher.
That's what I want to find out. If you're going to raise this, how you're not going to raise this, because you're right
Oh, you're gonna
there.
raise the deck.
You have to either have a wall in here or something to stop it, because you can't raise this without raising this.
Well, unless the deck is gonna be really high above that ground.
Oh,
right next
well,
to
look
it.
at it, that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to fill in underneath it.
Right.
Or if they don't, they got to put some type of retaining wall or something in there.
And if you're lifting up the deck, these stairs will be bigger,
These
Much
stairs
bigger.
are gonna be bigger.
and.
So you gotta give us
we
all of
gotta
that.
see.
You got to have all
So,
that.
yeah.
Mr. Webby, you want to come up here, please? I've been waiting for this, Joe.
Uh-oh.
No, he's a gentleman I've known for a while. How you doing, Joe?
dog?
Your neighbor's
He's under
right
here.
Okay.
Old Bear's retired. I got Valor now. Old Bear retired. So, Joe, this is what we have to get from this gentleman. We need to know what the real elevations are here. We know that he's going to raise the finished grade up to 111 or around that area. So we have to know what the finished grades are here. Now, when he comes around here, you know he's going to have to put a retaining wall or something. If he's telling me that this deck is coming up. So, Joe, he can't go 110 here and then, because it's 104 here, and not have something to stop it from flowing. He's got to do something here with a retaining wall or something to hold the dirt back from going downhill, because it shoots down like this.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, right now, we're sloping this 3 to 1.
Yeah,
You got the 110, the 108, and the 106. Those are proposed there.
yeah, you got to
Same
put something in here.
Well, we can take, I mean, obviously, if he needs a retaining wall, we'll just we'll put one on there, propose one.
Well,
Because that's
you're at
what we're
110,
thinking right now.
how much fill's going in there?
110,
Yeah.
128.
There's a lot
Where's
of
it
fill.
coming from?
It does, well,
Oh, it does. I mean,
Yeah, it does,
we
huh?
talked to someone else on the pond about bringing in foreign.
oh, okay.
We'll get it from Carver.
Carver sand.
I got some in my backyard.
There's plenty of it.
Next year.
Great, grab it from a bog person.
It'll be correct, Sam. Come on, Val.
Earth removal, an earth removal
They talking about
project.
I know.
So
110.
the wall would be a 6-foot-high wall here, and then taper down to nothing. So we'll get
All
about
right,
here.
well, we need to see that.
No, I understand that.
Hi,
I
sweet.
should have been,
You're
and
gonna have
there's a
to,
well here.
yeah, that kind of scares me, but, okay.
So-
If they approved it, they approved it.
So we'd have to go from this point over to here.
Somewhere over in here to here, you have to give us some
Well,
type of
we gotta
retaining
go to the
wall.
elevations where the elevations.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't wanna,
In the elevator, they're running.
You don't need a
We wanted
huge
that
wall,
wall.
but, you know,
we need a 6-foot wall going to nothing.
you need something.
Yeah,
You
we
need
need
something.
They're
It's got to be a
This is
decent
now
retaining wall.
gonna be the same height.
L-shaped to hold it, no
Well, we're gonna
cracks.
use-
This and
Yeah,
this are gonna be the
cement
same level. The first floor of the home will be the same level as the garage, just about. So this will be flat.
So you need all proposed contours in between the
Yes.
two.
That's what we're looking
Do you
for.
remember how deep that was?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what,
Yeah.
so,
That's Phil.
you're gonna have to come back with, we'll continue it, I guess. It's up to the chair.
Continue.
I'm sorry, it's the chairman's thing.
It's
You
continuation.
gotta do something with that. Okay, give us something to work with. Joe, go to work.
Yeah, and if there are any,
Do your magic, Joe.
if there are any plans for, in this area here, because right now, I believe, we were there,
Not much.
No, we're not changing. The
It's
only
just
thing
dirt.
we're changing there is probably the
Dirt.
set of stairs.
right,
It's gonna get longer.
right, but if this becomes a walkout, next thing you know, there's a pad here to get in and out, and
9 additional steps will bring it off.
No, what he's saying is you have a walkout basement, he's concerned that you're gonna pour a pad on the outside of the walkout basement or do something like that.
well, I just want to make sure that, that's part of what
If
we...
you're gonna
Should
do
be
it,
shown, yeah.
Yes.
put it on the drawings. We can take it out later.
And if there's more stairs, we
You know,
should show.
Yeah.
put in everything you think you're gonna need, because this isn't gonna work. Then we can talk.
Yeah. I think there's more to be...
You got a lot more to do on this, on these drawings, Joe. Jack it up another 500 grand, we'll be happy. It's not my
It's
money,
easy for him
Joe.
to say, right?
Joe, it's not my money.
It's your money.
Okay.
So this is
These
ours.
are mine?
This is ours.
Our next meeting's the 7th. I don't know if you can do it by February 7th.
Yeah. 7th.
7th, 2 weeks from tonight.
You get,
All right, so we'll continue.
Okay,
Are you sure?
so motion to
we're
continue?
gonna continue it. Neighbors,
Oh, yes.
neighbors,
Neighbors,
come on up and sign in.
come up and sign in.
Come on up and sign in.
You so you have to
You
sign
gotta-
in
you
Yeah.
got-
to be
We have a
heard.
sign-in sheet.
My other question, I'm not objected to it, is, did I hear him say a tight tank, or do you have a leaching field?
It'll be a leaching field, as we go.
And where is that going to be located? My concern is my well to the right of the barn.
It isn't showing where the abutters, aren't they supposed to show where the abutters wells are when they do these?
That's
Here's the
Caparella
vacant.
and Sullivan, and then,
So if you're, this is your here, it's
No.
150.
all right, as you come in Andrews Point Road, my well is right here.
It's right there.
No,
109.
109.
So if this is 53.
This is, yeah.
It says 109 feet.
Come in, this is the driveway coming in. Okay, we're the line. Okay, so we're right. Now where's?
That's still,
Yeah, if he's putting like more stairs and things going closer to the pond, that should definitely be shown. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they didn't show that at all.
Be shown, that's right.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't get shown, then he tries doing it, stop action, and go back and redraw it.
And then what was between where, like at the front of the house, between the house and the pond, what was there? It was just like
open.
Dirt.
Dirt
Yeah.
and rocks.
I mean, they don't want to put a patio up.
We're not gonna do that.
My concern was the
Do
location.
that. Well, I'm having a hard time.
And you're satisfied?
109.
You're good?
Now,
Okay.
how did they approve the butters well? They're only 109 feet. I thought the butter had to be 200 feet away unless it was congenial to the butter.
No, 100 foot.
Tim probably.
No?
100 foot.
Oh,
Over there.
I thought it was 200.
I just want to sort out what that means.
Don't read that.
Did you sign?
No, nobody signed.
Oh, you didn't sign? Oh, okay. All right, I'll have you sign. That's the one for the school. All right, so we'll continue this then.
Does anyone else have some comments?
Are there
is
any
he all
other,
right?
any other
Excuse me,
questions?
folks,
You
anybody
okay?
else want to come up and say anything? No? If you are, come on up now.
Is he okay?
Yeah,
You okay?
109 feet.
Oh.
Okay.
You made it by 9 feet.
What are you doing, buddy? Come on, get over.
Sniffing my knee again. I'm
So, okay, let's have a motion for continuance on this.
I will make a motion that we continue the hearing on 14 Andrews Point Road, DEP SE 126-554.
Until
Till February 7th, if
September.
you can do it.
February 7th? All right. I'll
At,
put that
it'll
in.
be at 7:30, because we have this, Edaville at 7:15.
Okay.
Is that good? Okay, thank you, Jeff.
Somebody's gonna second it.
Oh, did you second it?
Second it.
I second that.
Okay, so moved and seconded
We're so formal.
to continue
So
this
well
hearing
organized here.
to February 7th at 7:30. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Done. Okay,
Okay, that was easy.
maybe.
So do you have to read, if this is continued, do you have to read this out and then just say that they asked for continuance?
When it comes, no, once,
I asked Peg that, whether you had to actually read it tonight or not.
no, if something's continued from before, no, we shouldn't have to read the whole.
There's no abutters here or anything.
No.
They probably all found out that it's continued.
Right. But we're not going to
For
hear it
Edaville,
anyway.
yeah.
Okay, that's right, we're not, okay. So what you're, okay, this is the first hearing for it, so that notice does have to be read.
So you would, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought,
Then we
okay.
can, when it's opened as a continuance, we don't have to read the whole hearing.
The next meeting, oh, okay. That's what I thought, okay.
So at 8 o'clock, which you're past, okay, here, going to deal with DEP SE 126-555. Notice hereby given in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, January 24th, 2018, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall. To hear the notice of intent submitted by Edaville Land Holdings, LLC, for the proposed construction of a 490 kilowatt ground-mounted solar array to be used to power the existing commercial operation, Edaville Family Theme Park. Proposed array is to be installed on an existing abandoned cranberry bog and will require variance from the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Two areas totaling approximately 6,300 square feet will be replicated to mitigate for the alteration of wetland resulting from the solar array. The project is located at 0 Rochester Road, Carver, Mass., map 86, parcel 13, Carver, Mass. All interested parties are invited to attend. Copies of all plans, filings, and pertinent documents are available at the Conservation Commission office. Okay, and now,
And so the applicant has requested a continuance.
continuance.
Until
Oh.
And we'll
February
be
7th.
submitting revised plans, yep, and so they'll be on February 7th.
All right, I'll make a motion that we continue the hearing for 0 Rochester Road, DEP SE 126-555, until Wednesday, February 7th at 7:15 PM.
I'll second that. Wait a minute, we already have a 7:15.
No, 7:30.
don't we? Oh, 7:30, okay, 7:15. I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to continue the hearing for Rochester, 0 Rochester Road, DEP SE 126-555 to February 7th, 2018 at 7:15 PM. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Pass unanimous.
Okey dokey. 7:30.
Okay, next item. Yep, okay, we can go with that. 4A Wenham Road, DEP SE 126-556. Notice hereby given in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 8:15 p.m. on Wednesday, January 24th, 2018, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall, to hear the notice of intent submitted by JFK Realty Trust for the construction of a single-family dwelling with associated subsurface sewage disposal system, driveway, utilities, and grading within the 65-foot and 100-foot buffer zone to wetland resource area bordering vegetated wetland. Applicant is requesting a variance from the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw for the activities of this well installation and construction of a deck with structural footings and stairs within the 65-foot buffer protected under the bylaw. The project's located 4A Wenham Road, Carver, Mass, map 107, lot 1-4. All interested parties invited to attend. Good.
Mixed up.
Yep. Me mixed up? What?
I tend to lose things. Okay.
All right.
Good evening. Mr. Chairman, for the record, Niall Zager from Zenith Consulting Engineers.
And I'll take those, yep. Thank you.
It's a hell of a drive.
Okay. Okay, oh, this is the one that's right on the edge of that
Oh, yeah.
This is
Grand
the one-
Canyon of Carver.
Yep.
Okay, so before I get started, I believe my business partner, Jamie Bissonette, spoke with Brooke a little bit, and she mentioned about the erosion control that was proposed. We originally had silk stock proposed. She mentioned because of the slopes that she would really like, and felt the commission would really like to see double hay bale with silk fence. So we've actually revised the plan. I have those
Good.
here for you, so that way you have updated plans. I understand that there may be more changes that may be needed, but I just figured I would give you at least.
I knew that was one of the concerns that we were gonna have to, yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to try to at least give the commission something more up to date that we're obviously willing to make that change. If you would like.
Well, this is the tape, okay.
Nice touch.
We're proposing a single-family house with an on-site septic system throughout, with driveway.
The old one?
Septic system is outside the 100-foot buffer zone. The well, the septic tank is also outside the 100-foot buffer zone. As by the green line. The house is right up against the 65-foot red buffer, and we are proposing. My client, JLK Development, has requested us to request a variance for a
Yep.
You're aware that generally, we issue variances for minor activities within the 65-foot to 100-foot zone. We generally do not issue variances for the whole house to be in that.
The whole house is not within it.
Wait, didn't you just say the house would be up within the 65-foot?
No, he said the.
I said it's
It's just outside.
The
It's
deck.
just
deck.
outside of it.
Okay,
Just
good.
The entire deck is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now.
The deck as well as the well.
Yep,
The well
well,
is,
it's okay.
They're gonna put him in
the
there.
well is because of the requirements by the Board of Health, of
Right.
150-foot setback and things of that nature, so
Got a lot of
I'm
wood
sure
to
the
it.
commission is very much aware of.
Yep.
So we are meeting that standard as far as the 150-foot. This has been,
Cut all these
I
woods
believe,
down and
approved
make
by
it
the Board of
work.
Health as well.
Yep.
Remember how populated this was?
So really, realistically, the work within the 100-foot buffer zone, or within the 65-foot, no structure is only the deck with the stairs. My client wishes to obviously propose a deck, if the commission sees fit. What we're looking to do is to do a footing, a concrete footing, about 8 feet off of the buildings. I believe it's a 10-foot out. The deck is 10-foot wide by 10-foot deep. We would do a footing 8 feet out. I actually have a picture of one, and they would rest the columns, or the columns right on that footing. So that's how he typically does it. That's what he's proposing, and I can show you a picture if you like.
Cantilever, no.
Does the commission would like to see a picture?
Yeah,
Just
that's
cantilever,
possible.
all you can do is
I just want to say that,
That's correct, that's correct.
excuse me, that original statement that I made was correct, and your response was not correct. The house is between the 100 and the 65-foot line. Our policy has not been to allow houses within that, beyond that 100-foot line. That's generally been our policy, and I think we have that
I'm
in our
sorry,
code.
what did you say? I didn't
The
understand. what you said.
house is completely between the 65 and 100.
Is within the 100-foot.
It's, no, it's
Oh,
within
no,
the
that-
65.
No, it's
bro.
not.
No, it's not.
It's outside the
That's 65, that's
There's
right.
100.
And here's the house.
Yes, it's between the 65 and the 100.
That's right, so it's within the 100 foot to
Yes.
65.
Yeah, that's why you're
Okay,
filing an-
generally, our policy has been not to allow it within the 100-foot line.
I
Beyond the
understand
100
that,
foot.
yes, I'm not disagreeing with what
Okay.
our policy is, I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
making
so
sure that you
that is
understand where it goes.
That's an
That's why they're
exceptional
filing for an NOI.
change and challenge to standard policy.
I thought the I could be wrong, but I thought the regulation was a 65-foot.
No touch.
No touch.
No touch.
No touch, yes.
Yeah.
But I believe, if you read the Carver Wetlands bylaw, that it will enumerate what can be allowed between 165 feet. And it's like deck piling, so on and so forth. It's not a foundation, not a house. So I really, I find this unsuitable as far as our wetlands bylaw. I find it not possible.
I don't,
But we'll
I'd have to relook at that, but I think within the 100 foot,
He has to file an NOI for within 100
Right.
foot, within 65 foot.
this, within the 65 is the variance
There's
part.
no structure. I thought it was no structure within 65 feet.
Let's,
Right.
do we have a copy of those?
Well, there's no touch.
I can run and get 'em
Means
downstairs.
No grading, no nothing.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure of, okay.
No grading,
Let me
no
run and get
nothing.
it.
I remember having these
All right,
questions
let me
before.
run and get it. I'm gonna run and get the bylaw.
Sorry, but it's really, this is the first time we've had, I've been faced with something quite so contrary to what I believe our policy is.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I've got it
This
here
is-
quickly.
See, he's disturbing all of this within 65.
Yes. Well, that was going to be,
No. And we talked about this, see, the foundation is right up against the 65-foot line, which means they're gonna have to dig within 65 foot.
Oh, yeah,
To put
definitely.
the foundation in.
But I mean,
So they're gonna move that house forward to do something.
I'm going back to a case on Meadow Street when the guy measured the 100 feet and 6 inches from the top of the bog dike, and that was the distance to the house, okay? 100 feet, 6 inches. And then turned out that the house was too close to the road, so unfortunately, the engineers just decided, oh, we'll move the house back from the road, and that put it too close to the bog. And we didn't catch that until later, but the rule was that it should not be closer than 100 feet to wetlands.
Oh, let me look, I'm sorry.
There's the thing about the 65.
I have that right here. What's that?
Did you have all these? This is, okay, this is, except as permitted,
Here,
shall we
okay,
remove within 100 feet?
4, 921 point, what is it? 9213, statement jurisdiction. Section 4, except as permitted by the commission through the issuing of a variance as defined by Section 5 of this bylaw and the issuance of a permit as defined by Section 2 of this bylaw, no person shall build any residential building dwelling within 100 feet of a cranberry bog.
That's cranberry bog.
Yeah, okay, well, or any other
That was the one
wetland.
that-
Any other wetland.
I'm trying to find the, I have it here.
That was the one we ran into for,
Yeah.
all right,
Mount
the
Walker.
number 1 is except as permitted by the commission as provided by this bylaw, no person shall remove, fill, dredge, alter, or build upon or within 100 feet of any bank, wetland, marsh, swamp, bog, beach, or wet meadow, pond, or lake.
Did you read these before you drew those plans up?
Without another.
Well, how do you see it differently then?
Did you say it only is within a cranberry bog? or-
No, this is
The
within.
first one, it says without any bank,
Maybe within
wetland, marsh,
65
swamp, bog,
feet.
beach, or wet meadow,
Is
pond, or lake.
variance. It's that easy.
Come here,
It's that easy.
right there, start there.
You know, who's pulling what here?
Except as permitted. So that's basically stating the jurisdiction.
Well, see, all of this stuff within 65 feet is not supposed to be done.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Anything within 100 feet, you gotta file a notice of intent. Pretty easy.
Right.
And so far, you've done everything you had to do.
Cranberry bog, that is, yeah, specific.
Yeah.
What I do with it, I had my wetlands thing right here.
For the what?
I had that right here.
This is what we, so if you read section 3, assess as permitted by the commission.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah,
what-
it's the
it
issuance
always
of the
says
variance.
that.
Right. But that's after section 1. Section 1, basically.
I think one, the way I read it, it means you have to file for
That's
any
the
work.
jurisdiction, that's where you get the jurisdiction.
Right. But
We
again,
haven't allowed anything.
Yeah.
but again, number 1 says that we have the permission to deny within 100 feet. Number 3
Right.
says we have the permission to grant a variance within 65.
That's what I
Up to
said.
65, yeah.
Yeah.
Up to or
So he
even
files a
within your
notice
right,
of intent for anything within 100 feet and and files for a variance for anything within 65.
yeah. The DEP has upheld our position on this and improved this wetlands bylaw, so, I don't know, I
mean, I think though, if this was,
Well, I think that...
say if we denied it and it went to DEP would allow it, because
think-
they allow anything within 100 foot.
No, they don't. The Carver Wetlands bylaw, they have to reinforce, or they have to enforce.
No, it would have to, if something gets appealed,
Yeah.
the DP can only go by the state regs. They don't have to enforce the bylaw. The person would have to appeal it to civil court.
Yeah,
In other
I-
words, you know what I mean? You can't go before DP. DP can't make a decision on the
You can't go
bylaw.
before
They-
DEP.
I do know
they
that
can't
much.
reinfor- They cannot
Yeah.
enforce the Carver
No,
Wetlands.
but the
Act.
person would have to go to civil court to have it, yeah.
Yeah.
Get it out of DP's hand.
Well, there'd be a lot of people in town that'd be pretty unhappy if we just go ahead and.
Well, I think that we run into what we can deny is work within the 65.
That's what we can out and out
And
deny.
that the
And the 100
entire regrading of the back of the house would require all of those trees to
Not
come
only that,
down.
The removal of all those trees back
Yep.
there and everything else.
I mean, the proposed deck, when the houses were built up by the dog mall,
Yep.
the deck was right at the 65, or almost at the 65.
yes, there's one behind the dog,
And we
yeah.
made them put the signs up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
saying that you can't go any further
Yeah.
than this. So the way this is drawn, the sign would have to be on the door going
Yeah.
out to the deck, that you can't go on the deck
I mean,
because it's a wetland.
Those buildings are within 100 feet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Right?
those are 65-foot signs. but- and
No,
back-
I'm sorry, the buildings behind the doggy mall, those were within 100 feet.
But they did not have to touch any of the 65
Right.
foot to build
Right,
them.
we
Right.
put the signs at the
Right.
65-foot line.
But this, I mean, all of the grading to going down into that ditch, that's a far way down.
Yeah, that's, all that grading is in the...
I
within
think,
the
right? Weren't those
65
ones behind the doggy
Never
mall
mind
within the
that.
100?
I remember saying something about that at the time.
Never
too, saying
mind the
this is a problem
removal
because it's
of the
closed
trees
again.
that are all through there, too. I can't go for
And-
I
that.
don't know,
The regrading of
we
the...
might have to ask permission to talk to town council, because I really think that we should change this.
Sorry to interrupt you. We're willing to forego the deck. You know, we understand that that's, you know, one thing that's a structure.
The deck is minor, it's
The
the
minor-
trees.
the deck is minor compared to the grading you're gonna have to do back there.
No,
Yeah.
everything's minor except for the fact that the house is within 100 feet. And according to our wetlands bylaw, it is not to be. That's all it is.
I'm gonna go home.
You know, that is our bylaws, and we looked at the lot, it's tough
Yeah.
to begin with. We looked at it even from the road before we saw where the flags were, and I think all of our initial reactions were sort of doubtful.
I looked at that site, sir, and I gotta tell you, with the number of trees you have to take down and all that grading within a 65-foot,
It's not gonna happen.
I can't, in all due cognizance even, I have to take my vote and you're not gonna like it.
So you wouldn't want to issue the variance?
I wouldn't, no, I wouldn't.
the
issue a variance
65.
For that, no way. I mean,
If it was just the
our
deck, I'd
variances
say
are
yes,
for
but
minor
the-
things. This is not minor. There's a lot of work there that they're doing within the 65-foot.
I mean,
There's
can I request a continuance, so that way I can go back with my client and look at, I mean, we don't have a lot of room, unfortunately, to move the house because of the setbacks required. We're almost right up against
I
the
don't know,
setbacks.
I don't know how you ever got the house where it is now. So it's your call, sir. You can request a continuance of
Yeah, I
course.
think you should.
And I believe we will grant it. That certainly is up to the chair, to grant the continuance.
Because there's things we can do, we can put retaining walls, we can do different things to try to mitigate the disturbance. I just have to, I want to run it by my client before I,
Yeah.
agree to.
But in order to move that house outside of the 100-foot line, it would be too close to the neighboring lot line.
But
Anywhere on this lot.
the ones behind the dog mow.
Let's forget about those.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to think of other things that we've allowed within the, between the 100 and the 65.
This is this case. Going to deal with this case now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. It's just much too close, and it's really, I mean, it is not a buildable lot.
According to the zoning bylaw, it is a buildable lot. That's the
Of course,
thing, so
that's simply the limits of the amount of dry land on it and the dimensions of it. That's all that
Well,
that,
and I know, I'm not trying to,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not being argumentative by any
Yeah,
means. I'm not.
that's it, yeah.
well, that's,
I'm just
Yeah.
stating a fact with the zoning as far as zoning.
Right.
it is a
exactly,
buildable lot.
that's right, you're saying that. But according to conservation, it's not a buildable lot.
Okay. Time for me to get the
So,
old count.
let's give this gentleman a continuation.
All right, I
Yeah.
move that, when do we want to continue to the 7th?
To the 7th? Can you do the 7th?
That'd be great.
Yep, so it would be
That'd be great.
7:45.
7:45, all right. I move that we
right.
continue the hearing for 4A Wenham Road, DEP SE 126-556 to Wednesday, February 7th at 7:45 PM.
And Tim, a second on that? Second.
I'll second that, I'm sorry.
Been moved and seconded to issue a continuance for application DEP SE 126-556 to February 7th, 2018 at 7:45. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are we done?
I think we're done.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Peter?
Been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Passed unanimously.